gear questions. Reading through some of your gear questions. I have a multi-pedal right now and I'm thinking of upgrading. Should I go full on Helix or the Stomp with pedals? That's a good question. At Caleb MKM. Let's talk about it. So I've said this before in some other videos, but the Helix is definitely the way to go if you want more flexibility as far as DSP. I think it has double the DSP, the digital processing power of the Stomp. It has like up to 30 blocks that you can fit in there. I've never messed with a Helix before. My friend Graham has one and I would like to mess with it at some point. So I only have experience with the Stomp, but all I can tell you is the reason I went to the Stomp is because I wanted flexibility of what I could play, but I also am a sucker for the way things look, and I've never been a fan of the all-in-one units, at least the way they look, and I love being able to be creative and trade out different pedals like I've been doing in some of my videos, and so that's the reason I went with the Stomp. Also, it was a lot cheaper. I could integrate it into my board, was the original plan. I ended up selling my whole other board and just making a mini pedal board based around the Stomp. One big benefit of going with the Helix, when I had all my individual pedals on my other pedal board, I always had something going wrong. And having everything enclosed into one unit like the Helix makes sure that when you're playing live that you don't have a cable that's going bad. It limits the problem spots significantly. So just think about what's most important to you. Do you want to have flexibility? You want peace of mind that something's not going to break down, and if you have the funds, I would say go with the Helix. The good thing about the Stomp is you don't have to have a Stomp with other pedals. It can be an all-in-one unit, and a lot of times I use it that way. The only other pedals I have is a compressor I invested in to put before the Stomp because I just knew I only had 6 blocks, and a compressor is something I usually leave on all the time, although I can click that off if I need to. I also invested in a volume pedal just because I like to do swells that way, but honestly, you don't need that. A lot of times I do swells in all my videos because I'm usually not standing. I swell with my volume knob. And the reverbs sound pretty good on the Stomp and the Helix. But when you play with a high-end reverb like the Big Sky or the Specular Tempest, Specular Reverb, and I'm really loving the Jet Revelation version 2 now with MIDI. And when I go back and forth from that reverb to the Stomp reverbs, I'm like, there is definitely a difference for sure, but the difference is really noticeable in your crystal clear, pristine headphones, but I don't know that it would be that noticeable live. And so I would say you could just go with the Stomp. I don't think you would regret it at all. It's a lot cheaper. You can find them used now. I really love it because you can just go USB out to your computer and record into GarageBand or whatever you have. So yeah, I would say Stomp if it's money and you want flexibility, portability. Yeah, and I already mentioned things for the Helix, so hope that's clear for you. Probably wasn't. What else we got here? At Tony GONGTR. Tony Gong TR. TR, is that Traveler's Rest? I went to school there. If it's not, don't worry about it. Not a question, but congrats and thank you for the motivation to build a mini board from Puerto Rico. Awesome. Thank you. Would love to see pictures of it. You can send it to me. Find me on Instagram and direct message me. At CBinder513. Hey, Christian. Used to play with you a lot. Where's the line between too much distortion and not enough to cut through the mix? That's a good question. And I'm not an audio engineer. I prefer cleaner tones and then add a little dirt. That's been my norm. But recently I've been messing around with higher gain and I really love it because if you have a little bit higher gain, you can roll off your volume knob to clean it up a bit. So that's fun too. To cut through the mix, I don't know, it seems like people love distortion and so they tend to have too much gain. I think that's why I kind of went with the cleaner sound. Plus I think reverbs sound really good with clean, but it also does with dirt. So I don't know. I think it can be more about how you're EQ'd and how you boost during different parts of the song. A lot of guitar players I know will sound check at low volumes. This is what happens. They sound check at low volumes so that the sound guy will keep them turned up in the mix. Then when it comes to playing, they click on their heavier gain, which gets a lot louder, and the sound guy usually turns them down. And then when they go back to their regular patch or whatever it is, they're sitting so low in the mix you can't hear it. So tip, I would say, is definitely sound check with what you're gonna play that day. All your patches as loud as you can get, down to the softest you're gonna get, and even communicate that. Say, here's my softest patch, here's my loudest patch. And that way the sound guy can trust you, one, and that way he can actually dial in or say, hey, your patches are too extreme, and maybe it'll help you be able to dial in, and so you can stand out in the mix. So that was probably clear as mud, but to answer the question, where's the line? It's probably right here. That's the line. Okay, corny dad jokes, I'm done with that. At LBarker88, I've actually been inspired by your portable rig. I've been an amp user and now switching to an Iridium. Any advice for someone looking to scale down? Any regrets? Any regrets? I think, yeah, I don't have any regrets, but there is always that feeling when you're selling nice gear to get other nice gear that you're like, oh man, I may never get this back. So I had a Timeline. I never had a Big Sky, but I had a Blue Sky I really liked, a really good compressor, a nice pedal board, and I battled selling that stuff because it was really good. Same thing with my amp. If you've been following the channel for a while, a couple months ago, I ended up selling my HM18 Tyler amp, which I love that thing, but I never played it anymore. And so I don't regret not having it. The only thing is just getting over that hump of actually getting rid of things. And so I've become less and less attached to certain things, which is harder to do when you don't have a lot of money. And I try to be just attached to what do I need to accomplish the goal that I want, what makes me feel better by the way it looks or the feels, what sparks creativity, and what actually do I need to get the job done. Those are the things I try to focus on more than each individual pedal or piece of gear. So I would say I do not regret it. The Iridium sounds really great. I mean, honestly, between the HX Stomp and the Iridium, I've never played with an Iridium, but when I hear the A/B test, I think I do prefer the sound of the Iridium. The only reason I went with the Stomp is because I can go out and record straight from it, has a lot more flexibility. I need more than just the amp models. I also use delay and all that for it. But if you're just looking for a direct solution that's mainly amps, yeah, the Iridium seems to be the way to go. Hope you enjoy it, bro. All right, next question at Vicandino. Just ordered the Ghostfire cables. How are they holding up? Yes, the Ghostfire patch cables, that's awesome. They're holding up great. I've only had them for what, 3 weeks, maybe a month now, but they're still great. If you watch the video, you know that I was able to put them together, and I actually wired up my board without having a cable tester, but every one of them worked just right the first time. I didn't have to redo any of them, and so I really appreciate that product. I've not had that same success with other patch cable brands, and so far really good. Also, if you don't know, I'm gonna affiliate to theirs. You can go to the link below and get 10% off your order with the code Hey Worship Leader, so go do that. It's really windy up here and I have no idea if y'all can even hear me. I got my wind guard, the dead cat, on, but I think I'm gonna head on down before I answer the rest of the questions because I don't have any sunscreen, and my doctor said I can't be out in the sun without sunscreen because I'll get cancer because of the medicines that I take so that my my body doesn't attack my kidney. So I don't have any sunscreen, so I should go get out of the sun. Let's go. Hey, look where I am. I made it up here. 360-degree views. It's beautiful. I missed the sunrise, but that's okay. I came back up here, and yeah, I love it up here. I got my Instagram story. I actually walked down the hill a little bit and almost forgot to post. I gotta do better at posting on Instagram. Do it for the gram. I don't know. Trying things. I'm ready to go inside. I don't know if anyone's in there, but gotta be ready. So I always put my mask on. All right, let's go. I don't know if anyone's in here, but we will see. I want to dump some of the footage onto my hard drive because I'm pretty sure it's probably filling up. Here's where I serve. This is where I lead worship. Open door church. Even when it's unlocked, which it is locked, I do this anyway so that I don't have to touch the doorknob. What's up, man? Transferring some files, and while I do, waiting on those files to update, I am doing some work, watching some YouTube, but no, answering some comments on YouTube, which is always fun. So for those of you who are interested in this type of thing, here's some of my YouTube analytics. It's been a year. I have 1,322 subscribers. Analytics, views are up. 10,788 views, plus 147 this month. 648 current views, last 48 hours. Let's see my top videos. Worship rig rundown, church's worship pedal board, jet micro, stomp, 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 overdrive, jet pedals, MIDI revelation, stomp, pedals, practical used away as a split block. Ooh, there's one, 13 views. Oh, last 48 hours. Worship ministry, purpose, vision, mission statement, 116 views, jet pedals, $694. Stomp, $1,092. Oh, 3 tips for overcoming sneaky struggles in worship ministry. $211. Okay, not too bad. Let's see. Oh, pedal board. Yeah, $1,700. How to get people to sing in your church. Oop, not gear related. $194. HX Stomp, $1,000. Yeah, okay. Anyways, I was just showing y'all what I mean by people like gear videos. So I'll keep doing some gear videos. Hey, while I'm waiting on this to update, waiting on this to download, I got a minute left or so. This is our church sound room. We have an iMac here, runs ProPresenter. We have a station here for lighting, and this is also the switcher for the live stream. I don't know much about all this stuff. I'm gonna actually hopefully do a video with Daniel soon, our production director, and have him walk us through some of this stuff, because I know y'all would be interested in it. But I know this changes like the switcher for the 2 cameras out there, and there's a monitor so they can see with the switch. This is our lighting console, which I think Daniel said is pretty much like a DJ lighting console, but that's what we got. And over here we have a Mac. This is where our audio is. We run a PreSonus board. It is the Studio Live 32.4.2 AI digital performance and recording mixer. Over here is our patch bay. See there. Also, very important these days, Clorox wipes. Batteries that go in the mics. And here's where you turn the sound system on, the subs and the mains and all that jazz there. And a Husky toolbox. We also have, this used to be the translation desk here. Now, I don't remember what happens here, honestly. Something else happens there because translation got moved into here. We have 2 services normally, so we translate into 4 languages, or at least that's the goal. And so they have 2 little stations here. 2 people can translate the sermon at a time. I think we translate into, let's see, Korean, Chinese, Spanish, and French. And English is out there. So yeah, that's it. It's pretty cool. And here are the devices that they can pick up and listen. All right, I just downloaded, uploaded, transferred all the footage, my SD card to my hard drive. Oh, the air's on out here. I noticed that my my screen must be dark because I tend to overexpose everything too bright, like right now. And since my screen is dark, when I think it looks good on there, see right now it looks too dark, but it's probably what I actually want style-wise. Hopefully it's pretty good. I darkened my screen a little bit so it would save the save the power on the battery. Little hack. But a lot of my footage from this morning has already been overexposed, so oh well. Hope y'all don't mind. Also the audio. I think I talk softly and then I talk louder. A lot of it's clipping and I haven't adjusted, so it might be clipping right now. Let me fix that. I was doing all these tests and talking to myself and realized the camera wasn't recording. All right, we have a few more questions. Let's go to our next location and answer some of them. So I wanted to come out here because this is another one of those places I first came to when I was trying to learn how to speak to a camera and I was feeling very awkward. And yeah, I just came out here and I never posted anything from the video I recorded out here, but it was still too awkward. But I just wanted to come back out here and redeem this place. So here's a table that I came to record a video. Look at that butterfly. Let's answer some more questions. Let's see. At RV Arquez, RVA Raquez. I don't know these names here. Guitar of your dreams. Guitar of my dreams. That's a good question. Oh man, I really love my guitar. I have a Telecaster, made in Mexico, 2000s Telecaster with some upgraded features. I really love that guitar, and it's hard to compare because I've never owned another electric guitar. It's the only one I've ever owned. But I have had my eye on some other guitars, specifically one that is nothing like the guitar I have now, which I thought if I ever got a guitar, I wouldn't get another Tele type. But I've had my eye on, it's called the Reverend Warhawk 390 with Bigsby gunmetal color. Let's see if I can find that. So it's 390, it's got 3 P90s in it. It's a Reverend, which I've always had my eye on Reverends ever since the dude from Ascend the Hill used to play one. When I met him, I was like, dude, that guitar is awesome. It has like a bass contour knob, it comes with locking tuners, and they're not outrageously expensive. So I thought a Reverend might be a good brand to try to get if I ever get another guitar. Veritas, I definitely want a Veritas because all the cool kids have one, but I've never played one. and they're very expensive, so I don't even dream about that kind of stuff. But they look great, especially with a Bigsby. I want a guitar with a Bigsby. That would be cool. Let's look up the Warhawk. Warhawk? I mean, can you get a better name? That just sounds awesome. It's nothing like I have now. Oh, that ND filter's doing weird things on my phone. Anyways, Bigsby, looks like a big guitar. It would be nothing like my Telly, which if I ever got another guitar, I would want something that's not like my Telly. That way I had a little flexibility. Colin Pollard 83, favorite jet revelation settings. Hey, maybe I can, I don't know, at the end of this video, show you when I get home. But basically, I've been really enjoying the modulated setting, which is the cyan color algorithm. It's the blue color. I really like the mod a lot, and I crank it up because it's not really overwhelming. I used to have the Mr. Black Supermoon, and it gets really modulated, and you can't control the speed of the modulation, and it was just too warbly for me. I really like this modulated setting. There was another reverb pedal that the modulation setting was just too much. Oh, I used to have the Walrus Audio Fathom, and I love that pedal too, but the modulated setting, like, I had to put it on low. It was like low, medium, and high, and low was pretty high for me. I mean, any higher than that, and it was like trippy, but for worship stuff, it was too much. It was kind of sci-fi. Maybe for a specific part, and maybe it would sound good in a mix. I just never played with it that much, but I'm really digging the modulation setting. I'm rambling. I'm really digging the I'm really digging the modulation setting. I'm also playing with, I mean, all three of them I like it. The shimmer setting, I never really had a good shimmer setting like this one. This one just sits really high above the mix, and it's not overwhelming. So I love that shimmer setting too. I've been playing more with that recently because I haven't played a lot with shimmer. It was one of those things that everybody did, and now everybody's kind of sick of it, but I never played a lot with shimmer, so I've been playing with that. Add a little sparkle to my tone. And the anti-shimmer, I love playing around with, a lot of cinematic tones, but I don't know how much I would use that in a live setting just yet. Maybe for some cool swells. Also, the settings, let's see, on all of them, I usually use about the same setting. I have two. I like putting the mix at noon, pulling the decay down for a nice room reverb, and I can pull the control knob all the way off to take out whatever algorithm is there and just have the beautiful reverb that's there. And then if you put everything at noon, I say everything at noon, and then sometimes I push the control up to almost 2 or 3 o'clock, and then sometimes the decay that much if I want it really reverby and ambient. But anyways, yeah, I hope I rambled enough for you on that question. Next question, the Graham Wilson. What's up, Graham? Graham Chops, Graham Central Station, Graham Mueller, all the Graham nicknames I give him. Helix patches coming soon? You know, we've talked about this a lot. I don't have a Helix. He does though. So maybe in the future we can develop some Hey Worship Leader Helix patches. Would y'all like that? Let me know down in the comments if you would like to see some Hey Worship Leader Helix patches as well as to accompany the Stomp patches. Let me know what you think. At Outsider365, your HX Stomp Mini looks and sounds great, especially your reverb presets. Thumbs up. Thank you very much. Are they just dialed in for your Telly, or do you use them on acoustic guitar? Also, if so, how well do they work with the acoustic versus electric? So I haven't used my HX Stomp with my acoustic yet. It's something I want to do. I want to be able to dial it in, maybe use some compression and some light reverb. But honestly, when I go to play acoustic, it's just easy for me to take my guitar and plug straight in. So that's not something I've even messed with yet. I haven't even done it in my house. I've never even hooked up my acoustic. So the answer is no, I don't. I haven't done that. They are made for my electric. They're just made specifically for my Telly as well because I don't have another guitar. That's something I would love to do eventually. I could also borrow a guitar, but if I ever buy a guitar, get one with different pickups like humbuckers or something, and be able to hone in my patches that are for sale for more than one kind of pickup. Also, a little plug, you can go buy the Stomp patches right now for $8 at heyworshipleader.com. So yes, go check it out. Outsider365 says, I got another one. What guitar players inspire you? Do you have a top 5, be it their abilities or their tone? Guitar players that inspire me. So I said this earlier, I watch Rhett Scholl on YouTube, and his tone inspires me because he plays a lot of things that aren't worship style, and I really only have experience in playing guitar for worship. And so seeing some of that other stuff, using a fuzz, using higher gain, slide, stuff I don't really have a lot of experience with, that inspires me to learn more. Also, Paul David's, I said I watch them. I watch them because they inspire me. At Artie Party, would you get a Helix floor soon? If yes, why? Or sticking to the HX Stomp? Yeah, I'm definitely sticking with the Stomp. I love the Stomp. I wouldn't down anybody for getting the Helix. But for me, I like the flexibility of being able to add pedals. So I'm definitely gonna stay with the Stomp for now. It was cheaper, than the Helix. But ultimately, because I've had people call me out on this, when I say cheaper, my pedal board is probably the same amount of money as a Helix floor. Now that I've put everything in it, when I bought the pedal board and all the cables and all the other pedals that I wanted that could fit into the Helix, why not just get the Helix, right? But no, I'm gonna stay with the Stomp. I just sat down and looked at all my questions and realized I think I've answered them all. So, answered all the ones that I wanted to answer. Anyways, I'm not used to vlogging, doing a vlog style. I do love the way this lens looks. Nobody ever asked about camera gear, but let me just tell you, I have the Canon EOS SL2, not the R, which would be cool. Everybody has the R. Sometimes I just want things just because other people have them, but I really would like the R. If I could sell everything and have enough money to buy the R with the 2.8 image stabilization 15 to 35 lens, that or the 24 to 70, I don't know which one I would want, but either one of those lenses, which is like $2,300 just for the lens, that would be the best setup, because this is really shaky, as you've probably seen in this video. I have the little VidMic Pro something on top. This lens is the Sigma 18 to 35 1.8 aperture lens. I really like it. It just doesn't have image stabilization, neither does the body of the camera, so everything is shaky. But on a tripod, it's pretty good. And then I put on this little cheap indie filter. I think it was like 20 bucks. Variable indie filter that I can turn. And I have a cheap tripod. I also have the Creator Pack lens pack. That's what I bought the first time. I didn't get the kit lens because I knew everybody says they're trash, so I didn't want to do that. It has the 10 to 18 image stabilized vlogging lens, which I should have used today probably. It just doesn't have very good aperture, and I really like the way this lens looks, but it's a lot lighter than this. This is a heavy lens. And then I have an even lighter 50 millimeter, the nifty 50, and it's good too, but it's just 50 millimeters, and on a crop sensor camera, I definitely can't vlog with it. One time I was recording a video in my office, and I had to have the camera all the way across the room just to get the shot I was looking for, and it's too hard to deal with. So I rarely use those, honestly. Ever since I got this lens, I can't get myself to not just use this lens. Anyways, that's what I'm using as far as this kind of gear. I will say, if you enjoyed the video, like, subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you for watching. I don't know if anybody will actually watch this far in the video. I mentioned doing a giveaway, and I definitely plan to do that, but I haven't decided exactly how and what. I have a few items to give away, and I don't know which ones I'm giving away first just yet. So I will do a giveaway, so keep your ears peeled for details on that coming in the near future. What do you think? Think we got enough? Oh, I also want to just say thank you to all my subscribers. Thank you for all the encouraging words. I didn't read everything that was encouraging that people said. I get emails, people just telling me how encouraged they are that they found my channel. People from all over the world that I never thought I would get to meet. So that's another reason I just love that I started Hey Worship Leader. Another person I want to thank is my wife, Katie, because she supports me in this so well. Oh, Katie just texted me. Oh, I was on your mind, you're on my mind. Yellow. Thank you for following me on this journey. I hope you enjoyed this video. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.